Yo, what up, friends?
I've got so many comments about it and calls on it from the last fight, and said, "Man, you know what? And show is great, man. Oh my God, it's so much better than all that." And I was talking to Christy about it, and Christy looked at me and said, "We didn't change nothing but the venue." And I go like, "Boy, she's right. The venue what
Mm,
made everybody go to the next level. So it wasn't the show because the show has been good. We do. I'm very proud of our shows. To do what we're trying to accomplish. So but the venue is great. The people have been great to work with over there. And at first, a lot of people start talking because it is on Nolensville Road. And at one time they feel like, it's a rough area, this, that. And yeah, it's rough areas around there. But the plasma, they got full security. It's beautiful, lights, great food. And all the employees there and the staff there is just wonderful to work with. Much more professional in so many ways. And so, I'm glad to be there. I'm glad to be there. So
yeah,
next
as you mentioned, their security is very, very good there. I felt very safe when I was there. And as you mentioned, there are bad places any town you go to in
yeah,
the world. In America, any country in the world, there's going to be a bad neighborhood anywhere you go. So just
absolutely.
because just because it's it may be in a quote unquote, which it's not a bad area anyways to begin with. Does crime happen there? Sure, but crime happens downtown too. Crime happens everywhere, as we mentioned. So do not be scared off at all, people. The parking lots are very safe. The security there is great. It's a huge venue, so there's nothing that would even possibly happen security wise there anyways. So please do not let that scare you off. It is an amazing time. And as you mentioned, what a huge venue. Spectacular. Yeah, the Troubadour was nice, but as Country Box grows, as Country Box continues to expand and get bigger, we have to actually accommodate for
Yeah.
Country Box's growth. And
Well,
that's what Plaza Mariachi does.
well, at the plaza, every fight, the Troubadour, we had to fight for dressing rooms not being big enough and this and that.
Mm,
And the
mhm.
plaza got so much room the dressing rooms are huge and accommodations. It's just so much. It's so much better for the time. You know what I'm saying? The Troubadour fitted for a great start, but and then Troubadour is 400 people, 450 people max. You sold out, and here with 1,500 people, so it makes it a big difference too. So it's just you grow. Everything grows in life.
Everything, and especially for a company like this, you are hoping that your growth will exponentially happen so that you do move into bigger and bigger venues, right? And as much as we like Plaza Mariachi, and it's amazing now, we are not trying. You are not trying to stop at Plaza Mariachi.
Oh no,
You're trying to get to Bridgestone next. Then you're trying to take over Nissan Stadium. Then we trying to go Madison Square Garden. Then we go in Vegas. Then we go, so there's growth that's going to happen with Country Box, and that is very exciting. And again, that show at Plaza Mariachi, that my first time there, as I was gone for the first show, but it was a really, really great venue to be in. It was not cramped. It felt spacious. It felt like a real atmosphere for a big time event.
yeah, I agree. It was no pressure. Like in Troubadour, if you had to run to the front door for something, you fight in the crowd, get into it's
Mm-hmm.
there was no fast movement to get to a short distance. At
Mm-hmm.
Plasma, it might be a longer distance, but it's open for you to move and get there. And like I say, I'm not saying anything bad against the Troubadour.
Mm-hmm.
They were good to me, and like I say, I don't mean it being sarcastic when I said it. I wished I'd done it before now. I wish that I started looking for a bigger place and before it's happened. So, but I'm happy.
Yeah. Let's just say that a fire hazard is less likely in the new
Yeah,
establishment.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about. You did mention about the growth of Country Box. Let's go ahead and just talk a little bit about the card that you have coming up Tuesday. Talk to us about what are some of the fights you have going on Tuesday.
Well, I got Josh Papas coming in. He's fighting on the card. He's 5-0 with 5 knockouts, and he's going against Rydell Booker, which is a journeyman, and Rydell is not coming to get knocked out. That's for sure. And I think Josh might have his first loss or his first decision. I don't think he's going to knock Rydell out at all. But that's a little pressure too. If somebody as good as Josh is, and Josh got a great team, got a great management company, great trainer, but Rydell has that experience. He has that experience being able with some great fighters, and he's been able to fighters not at the level where Josh is right now. I mean, he's been able to fighters bigger than Josh, and champions. I mean, it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be interesting. So I like to see what's going to happen there. And then we got the local here, Jordy Gonzalez. Was Jordy? I'm telling you, I made a prediction on a radio station the other day with Jordy that I think in 2 years, if he moves himself right, if his team moves itself right, I think he'll be a champion in 2 years. If he fights regular enough, and I mean, because he's so dedicated. I mean, he trains and trains and trains. He's not like some of these fighters, who wants to train and all of a sudden their back hurts or leg hurts. He's not. I'm amazed. I'm amazed he's fighting. Just a couple of months ago, he was in his gym training, and from what I understand, some noise started outside the gym, whatever, and he went out there, and his 2 dogs had got in a dog fight, and Jordy got in the middle of it, and his right arm, man, ate all to pieces.
No way! Oh my God!
So wow, I didn't even know. I told Ashley when she told me about what's going on, and I bitten to the bone, and I said, "Man, he'd be out for a year plus," but he's right back. Back, training hard and traveling and get good training. I mean, he's going places. I mean, him and his family backs him and stuff, and they putting in the due diligence, and they doing what you got to do to become a champ or a top 10 contender. They putting the effort into it. That's going to be a good fight. He's going to get tested again, Then we got Bryant Pappas, coming in from New York. Bryant Pappas, he's an older fighter, but he's coming to fight. And then I don't know if you've seen it on Instagram, social media, we got Eric Draper calling him out, which is
okay. There you go.
Matt Young, his promoter, and I talked. Matt Draper, Eric's promoter, and we're gonna see if we can do something. We're gonna,
hey, yeah,
it'll be interesting. So it's just, and then we got well, how do you say you pronounce that lady's name?
Chiara.
How you pronounce her name? Chiara.
Oh, Sierra? Wait, who are we talking about?
Chiara Dutry.
Chiara Dutry. There you go. Okay.
Don't get me wrong. I know all about her. I don't know how to pronounce her name. I'm not good at pronouncing her name.
That's okay. Neither am I.
That girl can fight. I mean, that girl can fight. She's fought on our card before, and I'm interested to see her fight again. It's been a while since she's been on my card, but she's got her hands full from Samoa, from Brazil. Because Brazil comes to fight, and so she's got a fight on her hand. That's going to be a really good female card, a fight on the card. So I'm really looking forward to that one. And so, and like I said, just because I can't pronounce her name does not mean she's not a great fighter, because she is.
Yeah, no. Hey, wait, look.
I'm shocked that other promoters hadn't reached out for her. Maybe they have it. She just don't want to leave where she's at. But she does have a good team behind her also, which is a good team. So and then we got other things on the card, other people. So it's a good card. And then, I couldn't say here, I am about the boxing, but also I'm about the music. Mm-hmm. We got Kish Moody, and boy, that boy can jam.
All right.
He's talented. I don't know if you watched when you was at the last show. Kish is a guy who took and Sunday Nash Hampton. And I got so many comments on that. You know, man, who's that guy who's Sunday Nash Hampton? Well, he's going to do the show this time. He's playing the show, and he's a heck of an entertainer. And that's what I try to do: is bring the music and the boxing together.
That's right.
You know, it's just like no different than music and NASCAR. You know, racing and country music. So the only thing is, I'm doing boxing instead of NASCAR. That's all.
Yeah, and I mean that's what makes the country box such a experience, such a spectacle, such a a place to be, an event that people want to be at, is the fact that not only is it just the sport of boxing, the sweet science, which we all would love to watch on a normal evening by itself, but then you throw in some of these great musicians that you've got coming in there, a lot of them up and coming, like really good musicians, some good veterans. We got a nice mix of musicians and entertainers that you have brought in to entertain the crowd and make it more than just a sporting event, but a sporting event and a concert when put together is this huge experience spectacle that we love to do.
Yeah. What I'm trying to do is like say just mix the two, you know, because that way people, and it's really funny because, well, I'm not gonna say it's funny. It's interesting because what happened is you got, in regular boxing match, you know, people go, you know, like then here comes a fight, walk out, just getting ready for the next fight. People run to the bathroom like an intermission, whatever, like it's an intermission. Then they got an intermission. I don't do an intermission. I find it so interesting because the people who don't like the boxing, that's when they go to the bathroom or concession, and vice versa. You sit there and you watch, you know, but the main thing is eyeballs stay there all the time. But because I don't call it a boxing match. I just call it an event. And I feel like it's just an event. Yep. So you know, so it's an event that I'm proud of. It's the fact that today's nobody has the opportunity to become tomorrow's somebody. I think going through my platform, they get opportunity, and they're not going to get nowhere else except for, especially on the fight side. On the fight side, where they get opportunity, you know, going in a square circle and, you know, fight your ass off. If you win, you get another shot. If you lose, go back home and head tucked between your tail. You know, so I do also. If you lose, I do bring them back. And that's one thing I was taught by Don King. Don was the only promoter back in the day that if you lost, unless you was a big name, if you lost, he'd give you another opportunity. And he would give you try 2 or 3, 4 opportunities, chances to finally win. And, you know, and some of them people he found a chance to win was one of my fighters, was Oliver McCall. You know, Oliver lost against Buster Douglas. He lost against Tony Tucker before he became champion, before he knocked out Lingus Lewis. So if it wasn't for Don King, everybody, you know, and they still do that today. I've noticed when somebody loses, it's like, next, okay, was such and such beat. But you know what? There's things that sometimes just because I beat you tonight don't mean I can beat you again tomorrow night, because you might come more quick. You know, and I think that's the competitive side of boxing that's interesting. I think it's such an interesting and you know, I gotta like what I'm doing, because you know this boxing puts me through hell. You know, I'm supposed to be retired and sit back on the pond and just watching a fish jump, but you know.
Well, I mean, hey, look, it keeps you active, it keeps you engaged, and look, you love to do it because you have been doing this your whole life, and you have been integrated into the sport of boxing, where you are able to leverage, your brand. And your name value and all of these other things that allow you to grow country box at the rate that you're growing it. And yeah, people do want to come back and fight. And people do want to come back and perform. Kish Moody has been here before. Salute to him for his new album, Echo on the Open Road, which I'm sure he'll be performing some there. But the boxers like to come back. I've seen, I was there for Popper's first fight. I'm excited to see my brother there again this time. I was able to interview him after his 1-0, so I'm excited to see him now. I've seen Rydell Booker fight multiple times. for country box. And you're right, he is no slouch, and he is not an easy out by any means, and he is going to make Popper put up a tough fight. But as you mentioned, this is because people enjoy it. People come back, not just the fans, but the boxers, the entertainers, because it is a place that people want to be associated with. And so when you look at that, when you look at the experience, the spectacle that country box provides in the scene of Nashville, right? If you're asking me, I would say it's up there with, in the preeminent sports. Obviously, you got the Titans and the Preds, and then you've got the soccer team. But, aside from those major sports, country box is the Nashville thing. And
subscribe on YouTube at Ball and Buds.